Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm going to be starting, I guess I'm going to call it kind of a little like a series because over the years, and especially recently, I have been getting many questions about our house flips. People asking everything from how we find properties, how we budget, how to decide if we're going to keep them or rent them or sell them. What we decide to keep or demo, how we manage it all, and how we make it work financially, like all kinds of questions. And I always keep notes on all the content that I share. I always keep notes about full of the questions that people are asking me, because that truly is how I decide what content I'm creating. And so since we had 3 houses that we got this year alone, I thought it would be the perfect time. We just finished the last one that we have. And as I'm recording this right now, the couple that's going to rent it out from us, they will be moving in a few days. And so I just thought it was a perfect time to do, like I said, kind of a series where I walk through what flipping houses really looks like start to finish, and kind of go through the process with the questions I've got, if that makes sense. So I just want to make it, this could be like a 14-hour conversation. I would love to just get on the phone with some of you that ask the most questions and just chit chat with you. But I thought this just might be a fun way and just a less overwhelming way to cover kind of each step, the process, and just kind of what it looks like. So I hope you find this super helpful. And if you know anybody that has thought about this or has these questions, please share the podcast. I always appreciate when you share the podcast. So today we're going to kick it off with the question I think everyone needs to ask before diving in. And I have had personal conversations about all this kind of stuff with friends and family. This is honestly what I share with friends and family that I sit down and chat with about this. So number 1 is flipping right for you. Before you ever buy your first flip or even start, looking into it, and, before you start worrying about the finances of it, you need to know if this kind of project actually fits your lifestyle, your finances, your personality. It's not for everyone. I'm just going to be completely honest. And those people that I do know personally, I will say to them, I just don't think this right now is the best time for you to be looking into this. I'm completely honest. Or if I know that they're just the people that aren't going to see it through and aren't going to get it done, it's like, maybe this just isn't for you. So what people think flipping is versus what it really looks like, I just think that so many people think flipping is the fun stuff, the demo day, the picking the paint colors, styling it before, you're going to list it, or maybe you're going to stage it if you're selling it. Those parts are amazing. Those parts are so fun, right? That's really enticing. That makes it sound super fun. There is nothing better for us, Matt and I, to take a house that's, hasn't been loved or lived in for a while, or just depending on the scenario and which house we're talking about, and bringing it back to life. That is I shouldn't say the sole reason, but that is what keeps us coming back, I guess I should say. We both truly love that entire process. Seeing the potential. It's just like with me flipping furniture, me doing a DIY project here in our house, or I see the potential in a lot of stuff. And so seeing that through and bringing it back to life is truly it's just the most fun. So you are right there. But what I wanted to do when I started sharing our flip houses is to show the not so glamorous stuff, or just to show the real time frame, the real budgets, it's only 2 people that still have full-time jobs working on this at night, during nights and weekends. it's not what you see on HGTV. And so I always hope that when I'm sharing our flip projects, I'm sharing the real, like what it really looks like for real people. You know, the phone calls with contractors, the delays that throw off your timeline, the surprise costs that pop up mid-project. This last one, it was a water heater that decided to go out that we did not have in the budget. We thought it was fine, and we had to budget for that and then find somebody to do it in a timely manner. The long days where it feels like nothing's going right or you're not making any progress at all. And I'm telling you, there are so many times throughout every project we've done, every house we've done, where it's like, I swear if I have to go and trim another room in this house, like you're doing those little tedious things that you're doing yourself because you want to save on the budget, and you're not going to pay somebody hundreds of dollars to do something that you can just go over and do, but you're still just painting the trim and it feels like you're getting nothing else done. Flipping is creative, which is why I think I love it. I need to be creative. It's messy though. It's exciting, but it is very unpredictable. It's the kind of thing where you have to love problem solving and be okay to make 100 little decisions every week. And sometimes when you're making those decisions, you don't have all the information that you wish you had. It's like you just have to be, I always tell everybody, you DIYing anything, you have to have a plan B, C, and D, because plan A is 95% of the time not going to work out, right? So if you love instant results or getting, or if you get easily discouraged when plans change, flipping is going to test your patience for sure. But if you enjoy challenges, learning as you go and rolling with the punches, it might be a good fit for you. And for me, that part of it, I'm surprised that doesn't and sometimes I'm going to be completely honest, it does kind of tip me over the edge where I need Matt to reel it in. Matt to be like, Lindsay, this is the long-term game. If we are renting them out. Lindsay, this is the goal. This is why we're doing it. Because sometimes I will find myself not sleeping at night because I'm thinking of all the things, right? All the things that could go wrong, did go wrong. Oh my gosh, we're going to have 3 houses in 1 year. Like, what is that going to look like? Like, I will lose sleep over it. Matt will never lose sleep over that stuff. So to have somebody, if you're going into this with somebody, to have somebody that kind of counterbalances how you handle those things, if that makes sense, it's priceless. There are so many times when Matt's like, Lindsay, just stop and think, because I can spiral quick when I'm not in control, right? And there's so much that you're not in control of when you're doing this. Just know that. So the time, the money, and the patience that's required, this is something else you need to figure out if flipping is for you. When we started flipping, and we had, if you've listened to any of my podcasts, watched any of my content, I grew up with my dad flipped houses. Now, he would do one house maybe every 3 years, and not even every 3 years. Like if one kind of fell into his lap, he was not actively pursuing them like I have been since we've been doing this on our own. Meaning without my dad, my dad didn't buy the house. We bought the house and we were doing the work. You need to know that just how much time it really takes. But on the flip side of that, I am somebody that's like, no, we're not going to hold this house for a year and work on it for a year or 6 months. Like you kind of you learn, you go through your list of what you're going to do and you're like, this will take 4 months and we're going to get it done, right? But even the smaller projects can stretch out for months. So once you factor in closing, repairs, and inspections and all that, depending again, where you're buying these flips, what the city, if you're renting, you're selling, all of that. Everything takes time, and especially if you're contracting out. So that is something you definitely have to learn, but don't get into the excuse like, oh, I've got a year to get this done. Don't do that. It should not take you that long. I mean, unless you've got a really bad, you're tearing down walls and you're doing a ton of things. Every flip house, this last one that we did, took us the longest because of companies that we were working with, like all the new windows, so those are custom ordered and it took, weeks for those to come in. The new kitchen, we were working with a company to do the whole new kitchen. So those were the things. If it was just us doing it, it wouldn't have taken that long. So definitely you have to put that into your time. So if that's something that kind of you're not good with, maybe you need to just think about that. Maybe bring somebody on that could help you stay on track or that better knows how long things will take. And if it's just really, maybe this is like no, that's not going to work for me, then flipping isn't for you at all. The money side. So this is a huge one, and I've done a ton of podcasts about this, so I'm going to try not to go into depth about this, but it's not just the purchase price that you need to be worried about. It's your labor, materials, permits, utilities, taxes, closing costs. Are you renting? Are you selling? And it's the little things that sneak in. So you always have to have cash flow ready for surprises. Something will come up always. And it could just be, it may not be like a water heater going out like it just did in this house. It could be just, hey, I knew I had to, we were going to paint these cabinets, but all the drawers are broken. So, I mean, it could be something small like that, like you just have to repair something, or, okay, great, now we're getting a whole new kitchen like just happened in this house that we just finished. So the money side is a big thing. And as far as financing your flips, so we have done financing in many different ways. We've paid cash. We've had a third-party investor. We've done the BRRRR method. So there's a lot of different ways that you can finance them. So that is another thing that you need to think about, when you're thinking about flipping. It may just not be in the cards for you, but yet know that there are lots of different ways to finance them. And the money side is not just the purchase price. Patience. Okay, this is the one that I struggle with the most. And this is how I will get easily frustrated. And again, a part where Matt needs to reel me in. And there's parts for Matt that I need to reel him in. It's just he's my yin to, what is it? Yin to my yang or whatever it is. And it's the same for him. Like I know when he's working on a project or something in the house, I can tell instantly that he's unsure of it. He's not confident that he's going to be able to do it, or he's starting to get frustrated. And this is going to sound so funny, but I have learned over the years, I need to leave. So I have to, me being there, I think it makes him, I don't know if it makes him like want to rush more, or he starts asking more questions, or I don't know what it is, but I have found that if I am not there, even if it takes him a while, it just goes better during those like tense and he's not so sure about it, if that makes sense. So like we have just really learned how to work well together. And patience has always been, like in life in general. Control and patience, does that go together? Because those are two things that I struggle with all the time. Patience is something that you will develop quickly. I wouldn't say I've developed it though. There will be so many days when you question, why did I even do this? Should I have even done this? Like you get stressed out about it, but once you get to the finish line, or like you finish a room or a project that it's like, okay, this is why. It is the best feeling. Matt and I mean, the word proud, we throw it around a lot. We are so proud of what we've been able to do. And these houses that we've done, they look amazing. And so every flip is going to teach you something different, not just about houses, but about yourself, about your, partner, if you've got somebody doing this with you, about contractors and workers, how to handle stress, how to problem solve, how resourceful you can be. That's one of my favorite parts of it. But just know that those are all things that you have to have or have to be willing to embrace if you want to flip. And if not, flipping is not for you. I'm taking a quick break from the episode to share some exciting news with you. If you have ever wanted to flip furniture for extra cash, a creative outlet, or to build a business but didn't know where to start, there's never been a better time. My Furniture Flipping Academy is now just $79, which is over $200 off the original price. Inside, you'll learn how to find amazing pieces on a budget or for free, how to transform them step by step, sanding, painting, staging, all the things, how to price and sell for real profit, and even know how to work with brands to grow your flipping business in more ways than you know. And that's just the start. There is so much more waiting for you inside the Academy. We have so much packed inside the Academy. It's completely self-paced. Once you buy it, it's yours for life. There are no deadlines. There's no pressure. We do have a sneak peek inside the link in the show notes. It will give you a glimpse inside the Academy. And here's the truth. Nothing changes unless you do. You can keep waiting for the right time, or you can take this step now. At $79, the price isn't holding you back anymore. So stop hesitating. Stop making excuses. Click the link and get started today. So, how to know if your personality and lifestyle fit this kind of project. So, let me just say that Matt and I, since we have flipped on our own, again, where we bought them, my dad didn't pay for them and we were just helping him. We have both worked full-time jobs. So we are doing this on top of full-time jobs. That right there is not for everybody. Maybe it's the ages of your children or how involved your children are. You know, if you work full time, like we do, but your kids, like you're doing something every night of the week, and then weekends are full of tournaments or band, like choir performances or whatever. Maybe this right now is not the good time for you. It's not a good time for you to just jump in and do it. Unless you plan on budgeting and it all makes sense to have everything contracted out. But even at that, you have to be present at the job site. You have to be present at the house. Because I'm telling you, if you're not present, it will not get done the way you want it to be done. So just know, and this is the topic that I talk to a lot with personal friends and family, like, because I know what their life looks like, or their jobs look like. And it's like, yeah, right now is probably not the best time. Or I think you could do it if you just did X, Y, and Z. Flipping is not for everyone. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Flipping is not for everyone. And that's okay. It's totally okay. Again, I think people see what's going on like on HGTV and they're like, oh, it's so easy. And they just, if they're flipping to rent it or flipping to sell it, that is just so not the way it goes. Really, it's not that glamorous. So ask yourself a few questions. Do you enjoy working on projects that take time and persistence? Like some of the houses that we have purchased, it's been the same lady. Her and her husband, I should say her husband, owned a lot of properties, rental properties, and over the years, we have bought a few from her. We were just talking about it. I think we've worked with her for 8 years. But 2 of the 3 houses that we just bought were hers. We were just talking about it and I said, oh my gosh, I just love this. Like, she will walk through the houses and be like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. And it's like, no, it's not okay at all. Like, I would not, if we're renting it, let's say, I would not rent this out like this. Like, you're not going to get good renters, where she would. And then we were closing on one of the houses and she said, none of this brings me joy. None of the, renting the houses, the fixing them up. She said, none of this brings me joy. Her husband passed away and she kind of inherited all of these houses. So I get that. Like, she didn't get into this, her husband did, but none of it brought her joy. So if you think about, houses, working on projects, even going to look at houses, if none of that interests you, flipping is probably not for you. So do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy any part of the work of that? The projects, the management of it, any part of it? Do you enjoy that? Are you comfortable making quick decisions without having all the answers? Are you okay with that? Can you handle stress, mess, and uncertainty? That's a big one. Right now in your life, can you handle more stress? When we got these 3 houses, it was such an exciting time because we had been looking for houses, but it was also one of the worst times. My dad was put into a nursing home. His health it's gotten to the point my mom cannot take care of him on her own. And so all of this was happening. It was just some big life changes happening. And then we get 3 houses. So can your life right now where you are handle more stress, more mess, and more uncertainty? If not, flipping may not be right for you. And maybe it's just for right now. Maybe in a couple years it will be. This kind of went with the other one. I already jumped ahead, which I always do, but do you genuinely enjoy learning about home improvement, design, real estate, renting? Like, let's just say you're flipping to rent. Do you even want to do that? Do you even want to manage properties? Like, if not, flipping may not be for you. If you said yes to most of these, you might be wired for it though. This is just it. If you're in a really busy season of life, or your schedule is already packed, or you're just in a stressful, like I said, life changes and all this that's going on, it just may not be the right time, right? It just may not be the right time for you. So you can put it on the back burner, but it just may not be the right time. And maybe start smaller. This is one thing that I was talking about the other day with somebody. You could start smaller with like flipping furniture, your own DIY home projects. A lot of those projects, that's kind of how this all happened. Yes, my dad had done it over the years and we had helped him when he called and said, hey, I need help painting this house, blah, blah, blah. But we had been flipping furniture forever. I have been since we bought our first house, since we first got married. And I learned a lot of the same skills: budgeting, time management, decision making, the DIY projects we were doing in our own home, right? That's a great way for you to get your feet wet and kind of just learn some of those things without taking out a mortgage on another house that you have to work on. You don't have to start big. So you don't need a TV-sized renovation or a massive investment to start learning how to flip, right? Start small, start local, and start smart. So maybe it's a small rental that just needs some paint and new flooring, right? You're not tearing down walls. We're not adding an addition. Maybe it looks like you're partnering with someone on a project so you can learn without carrying all the risk. So this is something that we wanted our kids to do. So the last 3 that we got, our kids did not help at all. I mean, our son came over for a little bit to help us move things, but in previous years when the kids were younger, they helped a lot more. But it's so funny because both of the kids are they're both in college right now and they both want to get into real estate and investing in real estate. And we're like, hello, we've been working on 2 houses alone. Where were you? But that is a great way. So if you know, and that's how we kind of got started, right? We went to my dad would have a flip. And so we would paint or do whatever projects we could do. And then you're not carrying any of the risk, but you are learning a ton of lessons. Or maybe it's just watching how other people do it and learning as much as you can before jumping in. And that is my goal with what I'm sharing with our flips. So on my YouTube channel, my website, my social media, here on the podcast, that's what I'm hoping to do. So where you can watch from the sidelines and kind of, get the information and see how real people are doing it before jumping in. Flipping doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? You can take baby steps and still move forward with your goals and then build your experience and your confidence along the way, and then jump in when you are fully ready. And when I say fully ready, it's kind of like when people say there's just never a perfect time, right? I definitely would not have pictured us with 3 homes in 1 year, my dad going into a nursing home, my mom on her own. It was not the perfect timing. Let's just be completely honest. So there are definitely, and for the way we do it, when an opportunity presents itself, because we've been through that dry spell where it's because that money part in the beginning, you have to find them at the right price and, with the right amount of work and, all the things have to align. And when that happens, even if it's not the right timing, and if you're ready to do it, you have to jump at it. So, but you can do it in other ways. If you know somebody that does it, tell them if you could go along with them for a day. If you know how to paint, tell them that you'll go paint with them for a day or go clean up the place for a day, or any chance that you can get to be around it, do that. I want to know if you can honestly answer, is flipping right for me right now? If it is, that's amazing. You're going to go on an adventure that is going to teach you so much and it's going to stretch you in the best ways. And you will not know that until you are done with it. We have done many houses, and this one, it's so crazy, but this last one, as we're getting it done and we've met with the people that are going to live in it, and we're really excited about who it is, but we're so proud of it. And it's got a brand new kitchen. All the floors are redone. It's got all new windows, and it's I just really want them to take good care of it. So I'm buying, drawer liners and drawer organizers. And you really, at the end, you're like, I did this. we did this, not I, but we did this, and I'm so proud of it that I really want somebody to love it and treat it like the amazing house that it is. But I'm telling you, there were many days in this one and all the past ones I was like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to have to get up and think about what we have to do today at that house. You know what I mean? So, and if flipping is not right for you right now, that's okay too. Kudos to you. I've seen many people get into it and then they are having to sell the house halfway through because they run out of money, run out of gumption, run out of all the things, and they're just done with it. So it is so good for you to know if it's right for you or not. And be completely honest. Just keep learning, practicing, preparing. Again, watch my content. Go back and watch the other, I think, 8 houses that I shared on YouTube and on my website. Take notes from other people's flips and what they're doing. Just get a good foundation before you jump in. Flipping isn't about perfection. It's about progress, creativity, being willing to take on challenges most people run from. And whether you're ready to go all in or you're just thinking about it for the future, you're in the right place, because I'm hoping that this series will walk you through every step of the process. And then as I'm going through these things, like I said, I am just taking into account what I'm being asked the most, if that makes sense, and kind of walking through each step and just making them a little bit smaller chunks in each episode. If there's something else that you have a question about, or you want me to dive further into from an episode, please either DM me on Instagram at mycreativedays, or you can email me, lindsay@mycreativedays.com, and just let me know. I won't share your name or anything. It just helps me to know, okay, I need to go into this a little bit further, or here's some more questions about this, and then I can answer them. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. Do not shy from doing that. Like I said, I will never share your name at all. So it just helps me so much, and then I'm hopefully able to help you. With that being said, I want to encourage you to make sure that you are following the YouTube channel. We will leave a link to the YouTube channel in the show notes for this episode. Please, when this is done, when you turn this off, just go and hit that link and make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We put this podcast on YouTube every single week, and I cannot emphasize enough, if you like listening to the podcast, you need to make sure that you are subscribed to YouTube, because we might be doing some changes. And if you are subscribed to YouTube, you will definitely not miss anything. So I just want to encourage you to take 1 second to just go hit the subscribe button. And then if you click on the bell, you'll be notified whenever anything new is launched on the YouTube channel. And like I said, every Monday we put the podcast up on YouTube so you can listen to it there. And then I am also uploading new videos every single week on YouTube. I have longer videos, shorter videos. All of my flipping houses videos are on there. So I just want to encourage you to go make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.